This is Corey.
And I'm Sharonda.
And this is Until Forever. This is a relationship podcast. We are in no way experts. We are in no way gurus. We're just here to share our story, to bring you along with us on our journey. And we hope that it is a blessing to you.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if you've got something to share with us, share it. If you've got something to help us out, let it help you. Us, rather. And we just want to be a help to someone else. So we're hoping you're enjoying the podcast so far. This is actually episode number 5. Fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. Say fifth. Let's harmonize. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I knew she was going to do that. All right. So we're going to... This goes along with the conversation we're going to have tonight.
Does it?
Oh, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. We are talking about Prince. Is he a prince?
What?
He's something like a prince. He was.
Oh, my goodness. We're not talking about them, though.
We are a little bit.
They inspired tonight.
They definitely inspired tonight's conversation.
Yes.
Absolutely. But he's something like a prince.
Okay.
And she's definitely a black, beautiful princess.
Okay.
And what's her name? Megan. Forgot her name, Lord. Harold and Meghan.
Harry.
And we're talking about them because, of course, they've been in the news, and the one and only Oprah Winfrey did an interview with them, decreeing and declaring that Harry has done the epitome of leave and cleave.
She didn't decree and declare.
Well, she didn't directly, but all the black folks across the world that was watching, that's been a part of a church, knows good and well that was the definition of leave and cleave.
Okay.
You don't think so?
I think so.
So let's start here. What do you think it means to leave and cleave?
To leave and to cleave.
Very good. Oh my goodness. We got the green screen. I think we might put like a ding ding ding. We might put a little bell or something right there. She said to leave
space
and to cleave.
Period.
What does cleave almost sounds like a dirty word?
What? No, you're thinking of cleavage.
Exactly. So.
Oh my gosh.
To leave. Okay, let me stop. All right. So, okay, I hear you. To leave and to cleave. We think that's what it means. We say that's what it means. But how often do we see that happening today?
Ooh. Does anyone have anywhere to leave?
What do you mean?
Families aren't what they used to be. Like the makeup of the family.
Oh, very true. That's very true. So, can you not leave and cleave if it's nothing to leave? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm just saying it looks different. I mean, your mom became a single mother because of unfortunate situation with your father passing.
Right.
But I just couldn't imagine being like, you gotta forsake your mother because it's just her. You know what I'm saying?
And forsake is such a strong word. Lord have mercy. I'll forsake thee. Could you imagine? But do
you get what I'm saying? Like, you know how many people come from a single parent household? And so it's like to leave and to cleave. I don't think it's taken with such extreme measures as we're thinking of biblically.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but should it be taken with such extreme measures?
What?
Should it? Because you're saying that you don't think that...
I don't think you should, abandon your family, but I will say this. There are some families that are very toxic. Mm-hmm. To marriages, and for that matter, you may need to go ahead and leave and forsake
and cleavage.
And cleave to the one that you with. Love the one you with.
Oh Lord. So so it sounds like you're saying that in only in situations where staying involved with your family is toxic, then you should leave and cleave.
I'm saying it's more of an extreme leave and cleave situation.
Oh, look, I don't look. We either leavage and cleavage, or
Stop
we
saying
not.
that.
How do you say it?
Leave and cleave.
Okay, so it's either leaving and cleaving, or you're not leaving and cleaving. Okay, here's my thought. Because I honestly don't think that when the Bible writes that they intend for you to forsake your family, like that was your mama, it ain't your mama no more. Like I don't think it's that deep. I think that it when it comes to decisions, direction, and things that concern each other, that your family should be.
Name a marriage in the Bible where they didn't exactly, quote unquote, leave.
What do you mean?
You're saying you don't think that's what it means. But what I'm saying is these people picked up and started their own family. And scripturally, there's no reference of them being back under their parents' household.
Right. But so are you saying that leaving and cleaving isn't really what we think it is? Because if you do go through the Bible, none of the children of Israel was leaving and cleaving. They lived a nomadic lifestyle, and Abraham was the same way. They wasn't leaving and cleaving. He was having baby until old what's her name?
Sarah?
Not Sarah. Hagar. Until Hagar said, "Look, I'm finna leave and cleave to my son, since y'all treating him like you're treating him,
Okay.
Y'all, we won't have no Bible readers out there. Ain't no Bible readers out there. Look,
bottom line, leave and cleave today is more like you don't want to deal with a female doesn't want to deal with a mama's boy, and you just don't want somebody that's constantly involved in your relationship. They constantly have this influence over everything that happens in your relationship.
So you come first.
Yes, the spouse comes first.
You ever see those memes on Facebook where it be a picture of the baby mama, a picture of the wife, a picture of the mama, and a picture of, I don't know, the child or something.
Yeah, let's throw a daughter in there.
A picture of the daughter. And it'd be like, all right, who come first? And it's everything goes into disarray. Gosh. My mama come from, I don't care who it is. But I mean, nowadays, I think a lot of dudes would say that the mom would come first, because we live in a society now where you see a lot of single parent homes. And a lot of times it's the mother who is raising her child, raising sons, and they have a relationship that's inseparable.
Agreed.
So to have a woman come along and take the place of your mama, bro, I don't think that's happening now. I don't think men are putting their spouses or their significant others in the place that they're supposed to put, and actually cleaving and leaving those relationships or the spot that their mom occupies in their heart.
A spouse is not meant to occupy the space of a parent.
That's true.
And let's get that clear.
That's true.
That is a huge misunderstanding. But at the same time, you're making this decision to have a life with someone. I feel like if you're not putting your all into that marriage, then in the back of your mind, you're preparing for an escape. You understand what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
if Harry was like, "Oh, hold on, Megan, this is how it works around here."
Mm-hmm.
So you either got to get with the program or we can just go ahead and call it quits right now. Like, that would have been him putting his family before the family that he committed to start.
Right.
And so when people do that, men and women, because let's face it, women will do it too, you know, relationships with their mothers or even with their fathers or siblings can get in the way of a marriage. And in that matter, you're not leaving and cleaving. You're not cleaving to this person that you took vows to be with and to live out life until death.
I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. So the question is, do we see that today? And not just with Harry, but because their situation, it is very unique because of their status in the kingdom and because of who they were and who they represent for England and all that. But for us here in America, do we see that? Do we see
No,
that?
that's why it's taken off like it has on social media with the memes and the appreciation and the articles, because this is not something that is seen in popular culture today in America or elsewhere, for that matter.
Exactly. Exactly. Why?
I don't know. Do we put pressure on ourselves to be a part of the extended family versus starting your own traditions and things as your own family unit?
That's possible. Do you think we've forgotten how to be in a relationship?
What does that mean?
Well, because, and not just a relationship, we're talking strictly marriage at this point.
Okay.
But have we forgotten what being married is supposed to be or what it's supposed to look like? I think that we've kind of, I mean, of course, we've gone through J Lo's 9 husbands, and we see marriage become more and more of a just relationship status rather than a
Ooh.
purpose. And I'm wondering if, because of how we see marriage now, if the regard that Harry held with marriage, and probably because let's be real, there's different dynamics over there, different moral values over there. Not that they over there all uppity and we over here all raggedy or nothing, but I'm pretty sure that culturally, look at how high they hold family, how high they hold marriage, and look at how low we hold marriage over here, or how how it's kind of like our priorities are mixed up. A very unpopular opinion is, who comes first, your wife or your child? And it's your wife. It's your wife. And of course, you provide for your kids. You take care of your kids together. But your covenant was made with your spouse. Your covenant was made before God and with your spouse. And then your children, God has blessed you with. He's made you responsible for. But the covenant you made, that's with your spouse. Even your mother, when you're born, your mom did a great thing. Your father took care of home. He did wonderful things. But God didn't create covenant between your parents and you. You chose to enter covenant with another person before God. That has to come first. And I think that we've lost that.
I agree. I think what you said about it being a relationship status is probably truer than anything, because think about how quickly people get divorced today. And it's kind of like, how many people test their significant other to see if they get along with their family or not.
Yeah.
And so it's very rare that you find someone that's like, well, this is who I want to be with, whether my family wants me to be with them or not. Because typically, if somebody is saying that, then you automatically think, oh, that person has brainwashed them, because they want to like just be with that person no matter what their family is saying. Mm-hmm. But that goes back to what I was saying about toxic family. There are some families where they are very toxic. They're constantly pulling on you. I mean, think of the family where like a parent is like a drug addict or financially abusive, meaning constantly asking for handouts, not trying to do anything to get themselves in a financial status where they don't have to constantly ask for money. So can you imagine like a marriage where the husband or the wife is constantly taking care of the parent, especially for a parent that never did anything to take care of them their whole life? We're not talking about somebody who's well-to-do and now they want to, my mama took care of me, worked her butt off for me, now we gonna set up my mom for the rest of her life type deal. We're talking about somebody who's like taking full on advantage of you. So to me, you gotta cut that off. If somebody is constantly nagging about your spouse and talking about them and breaking them down, tearing them down, never has anything good to say about them, you've got to cut that off. And in this situation with Harry and Meghan, that's basically what was going on. They weren't trying to be supportive of their marriage. They weren't trying to accept her into the family. They had all these unsaid things that he really wouldn't dive into about concerns with children. And so for that matter, he put this family he decided to start first. And it also goes back to whatever experiences and things that he knows that still today the world may never know about what his mother experienced as well. And so that could have a lot to do with it too. But here in America, definitely, I would have to say marriage, present day, modern marriage is seen as something that I can take or I can leave. It's not something that people are committed to. And so for that matter, leaving Cleave seems kind of old school.
Yeah, it does. It does. Let me ask you this. How powerful of a voice do family members have when it comes to an individual dating and finding a spouse or finding someone that they want to spend their lives with?
So what do you mean? Like meeting the family and getting like that, oh, he's nice or she's nice.
Yeah, I mean, because think about it, that's like a rite of passage when it comes to being in a relationship. You date somebody, you like them, you start really liking them, and then you say, okay, I want them to meet my family. So it's like the family has to approve before I even think about taking this to a serious level. If people still do that, but I think that, maybe that is a bad habit that we have, to where your family has to like the person you want to be with, or it ain't gonna work. Oh, my mama don't like him, it's not gonna work. Now I get it, and that I get it if it's because parents they have a way of seeing stuff that
definitely
you can't see because you're too googly eyed. They have a way of seeing stuff. But where do we draw the line? Where do we say, okay, regardless of how they feel about him or her, I am falling for them. I'm in love with this person and I want to spend the rest of my life with them. How do you How do you separate? Or is it? I think it. Okay,
I
maybe
think
I'm
you
asking
should
my question.
proceed with caution. I mean,
But even
the
then,
family member that has this concern, are they saying it out of love and care? Like, do they see signs of something? Or are they always finding the negative and stuff? I
well,
think you have to, like,
take it with a grain of salt.
yes.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I hear you. I hear you, but I think it becomes difficult to draw the line. Like, when do you say this? When do you say it matters what they think? Until this point, but after that point, it no longer matters what you think. I'm going to be in this relationship, and this is why I brought this up, because I think it gets dangerous. I think it gets dangerous because if you involve family too much in what you want to do or who you want to be with in your relationship, then two things happen. One, they know too much of your business, and we've talked about that before. When you know too much of the business, you could be over something, and they still hold on to it. And when they see that person, they still reacting. So that's one thing. The other thing that happens is not only will they know too much of your business, but they'll feel like they have a right to be in your business because you brought them into it in the beginning. So now auntie, uncle, mama, daddy, cousin, everybody feels like they can have a say so in your relationship when it ain't their business. But you made it their business in the beginning.
I agree. I agree with that. But let's face it. Typically, marriages today don't start at the age that marriages our parents' generation had. I mean, we were over 25 when we got married. Both of us. But our parents were already married with kids before they were 25, like in well over 10 years of marriage at this point.
Yeah.
And so for that matter, I don't know. I don't know that it has that much weight, but it could be that because some people are single further into later 20s these days and some early 30s, that they are looking for family or friends to give this input of, do you think this is a good match type thing? And they put weight on it because they may be tired of being single. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad I'm not out here in this dating
Lord,
world anymore.
I could not do it. Meeting somebody new and starting that whole thing, there's no way. There's no way I could. A whole nother family and all of that. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I think you do need the support of your family, but then I think that's where the toxicity. The toxicity. I think that's where the toxicity comes from. It's because when I think family has to realize that you have to be your own individual. You have to live life the way you want to live it. You have to, make your own mistakes, date some messed up folk, but they have to be able to do that, still love you, watch from a distance, and when you make that commitment, they got to know, hey, this is their, because we've heard, Harry and Megan, we've heard stories of both sides of their family. I don't think we've heard nothing bad about her mom, but her dad.
Her dad and her sister.
Yeah, we've heard some bad stuff about that. But then, she literally left and cleft when it came to them, because she went all the way over there to be with Harry, which is crazy because that's what we expect women to do.
That's very true.
Because that's what the Bible says. But here we are in a generation and in the time where, we're not so stuck on gender roles or whatnot. But Nobody blinked the eye when she forsook all to run to, I almost said Egypt, to run over there to live up in the castle and stuff. But the fact, I think this is huge for Harry. And I think it shows a lot to us. And I think everybody should take note in the fact that he really gave us a true definition of leaving and cleaving. Not that it was so bad that they were involved in their family. That was their culture. That's what they do. That's their thing. But when he saw that environment was toxic to his wife and he wasn't getting the support for his wife, and his wife felt that, and which is really hard for him because all he's seeing is what he's used to seeing. Mm-hmm. And what he's used to seeing is bad for her. So now he has to see it from her point of view and trust her enough to say, you know what, this is bad for us. And we're not bringing no children up in this. It's time to go. I have mad respect for him. If I ever see him, I'm barbecuing for him.
Okay.
He can have a piece of chicken or something.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just saying.
Okay. You gonna barbecue for Prince Harry?
But look, we just this is a really good topic, and really this is opening the door for a series that we're going to jump into, called, what we gonna call it?
Marriage in the church.
Marriage in the church.
Oh my gosh!
Did y'all hear that? Let me do it. Hold on. Marriage in the church. Did you get scared?
We've got some good topics coming from that. And this was inspired by some comments when we initially started planning the podcast. So
yes. Which we got great responses when we put that up. We were trying to name it and everybody started giving us all these great names. Topics. And they were great topics. So we took them. But listen, we want more input. So feel free to reach out. Feel free to contact us.
Comments, inbox.
And you can tell them how they can reach us.
Okay. Well, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes.
And subscribe on YouTube.
Praise the Lord.
All our handles are at Until Forever Podcast.
Okay. She code switched. Did y'all hear it?
Oh, gosh.
You heard her code switch? I could do it too. Thank you for following our handles. We greatly appreciate it. If you would, go to Facebook on
exactly
Until Forever and make podcast and make sure to give us a thumbs up, a like, because we like it when you like us.
Oh my goodness,
that sounds like a movie. Let's see if I do a movie now.
All right, guys, so if you enjoyed listening or watching to
Until
this
Forever.
episode,
as they embark. Let me do it. Wait. Okay, watch. This is going to be good. You ready?
Uh-huh.
You ready? Okay. Coming soon, Until Forever. Take the journey with Corey and Sharonda as they embark on a journey into marriage in the church. Will you be ready when they talk about Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve? Will you be ready? When they talk about the bed being undefiled, what does undefiled mean? Find out next week when you tune in to Until Forever.
Thanks, guys.
How'd I do?
We go through this every week.
Y'all tell me how I did. Now give us a thumbs up if I did a good job.
If you enjoyed this episode, please go ahead and share it with someone else. Tag them in the comments or share the link from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Anchor.
Oh, see, she messed up.
I almost forgot one. And it's a few more, but those are the main ones. I don't even know what Anchor
is. But
oh, gosh.
You better go there. Next time on Until Forever.
All right, that's enough.
Goodbye. Say that with me. Let's do that together.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.